Hello students, in continuation of our last video, today we will take up the comprehension passage of the 7th chapter named Mr. Krishnan's Family and I. So the first question asked is, how many sons did Mr. Krishnan have? The answer to this question is Mr. Krishnan had three sons, Ajay, Sushil and Ravi. Why did the writer have to go with them for a run at 5:30 in the morning? The writer had to go with them for a run early in the morning at 5:30 because he was a close friend of Mr. Krishnan's son. Where did the Kohlis live? The Kohlis were the original inhabitants and they were the fishermen who lived at the two ends of Juhu Beach. Fourth one is, why was Mrs. Krishnan reluctant to offer him an uttapam? Mrs. Krishnan was reluctant to offer him an uttapam because there was only one left and she was not sure if Mr. Krishnan required another one. So she did not have any uttapam to spare for the narrator, Cyrus. What kind of reputation did Cyrus's parents have regarding Cyrus's upbringing? The reputation that Cyrus's parents had regarding his upbringing was that they had plenty of money, but they did not feed their children properly, and that is why Cyrus used to have his dinner either at Mrs. Krishnan's house or at Verma's. Who were Zoroastrians? Zoroastrians were the Parsis, and it is believed that they came from Iran or fleeing from religious persecution in Persia. They sailed in their boats towards the western coasts of India. Where was Cyrus's house located? Cyrus's house was located near Juhu Beach. Why does he compare his neighbors with Jesus? He compares his neighbors with Jesus because, like Jesus, they were ready to give, to share food with him, but they also did not forget to make him feel guilty, to make him suffer, and to make him understand that they were feeding him and not his parents. How could Cyrus visit the neighborhood houses without having to go round the road? Cyrus could visit the neighborhood houses without having to go round the road, as the houses, which were nearly 5 to 6, they were squeezed in a small place, and he could easily either climb the walls or jump over the gates or crawl through the bushes and reach the houses without having to go around the road. How did Cyrus's family get the name Ready Money? Cyrus's family got the name Ready Money as his great grandfather took to lending money, and almost 90 years ago. So just like the other Parsis who are known after the trade which they carry out, like the Topiwalas, Batliwalas, etc., his family also got the name of Ready Money because they took the trade of lending money to the people. Identify which statements are true and which are false. All the Krishnans wore crew cuts. So this is true. They had very short hair and all were crew cuts. They were the only ones awake so early in the morning. No, this sentence is false because we come to know that they were not the only ones who woke up early in the morning. There were morning strollers, walkers, or people who had come to the beach for worship in their white clothes. The coolies were the original inhabitants. This statement is true. The coolies stayed in the city. It is false because they stayed near the beach where could the fishes be easily got. The writer only accompanied the Krishnans for a morning run. No, this is false. Along with accompanying the Krishnans for a morning run, he used to play marbles with them, cricket, have dinner even, sometimes sleep with them also. So he used to spend maximum of his time with the Krishnans. They could hardly talk because of hunger. Yes, it is true. Mrs. Krishnan was very hospitable. This is false because she was tired of feeding Cyrus every other day. Cyrus was always welcome at the Krishnan's home. This is also false. Cyrus lived in a mixed neighborhood. Yes, this is correct because we come to know that there were various people belonging to various community and various places. The Parsis came from Iran. It is true. Complete the following sentences by matching the phrase in column A with its part in column B. The sons diminished in size behind their father. The lights in the kitchen were bright. She had a scowl on her face. Means the mother of the Krishna. She had a frown on her face and it had become her trademark. Generosity is often spiked. Hospitality has its limits. Next, usage. They all wore neat crew cuts. Wear is a verb which is often used with clothes, but it can also be used with other things like facial expressions, pieces of jewelry, perfumes, hairdos, and the rest. She is wearing an expensive perfume. Mrs. Krishnan wore a permanent scowl on her face. She wore a new hairdo. He wore his heart on his sleeves. The diamonds she wore to the wedding were very expensive.